Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sean Wayne and today pag-usapan nga natin itong Magna Carta for Seafarers. No? Isa sa mga author ata dito, walang iba kung hindi si Idol Rafi Tulfo. Dito sa session na to, gisang-gisado siya. And actually, may mga instances na naalala ko si Manny Pacquiao. Anyhow, so i-share muna natin here, no? Kung ano nga ba itong magiging base topic natin. So technically ito po yung Senate bill, wait lang ha. Ayan natin. So napakahaba. Senate Bill number 221. So sino ba ang mga kasama dito? Prepared by the Committees of Migrant Workers, Foreign Relations, and Finance with Senators Estrada, Zubiri, Villanueva, Tulfo, Hontiveros, Angara po, Gatchalian, Revilla, Go, Legarda, De La Rosa, Villar. Okay, so si Mark Padilla and Villar C as author thereof. So marami silang author dito. So basically, it talks about the Magna Carta for Filipino seafarers. It actually covers international and local, no, domestic seafarers. So ayon nga dito, Declaration of Policy, the act shall be known as Magna Carta for Filipino seafarers. And ayun, ayon nga dito, the Declaration of Policy Objectives that the state shall protect the rights and overall welfare of local and overseas Filipino seafarers, promote their full employment, and ensure equal opportunities in the maritime industry, regardless of sex or creed, including equal access to education, training, and development consistent and with existing domestic and international laws, standards, and conventions, particularly to the Maritime Labor Convention of 2006, which is an international, no, labor, parang labor law siya, okay, for the maritime. So ito po siya, no. Mahaba-haba siya. It's about 112 pages. So babasahin natin siya, tsatsagain natin. And ayon nga kay Rafi Tulfo, so inadapt nila ang batas na to um to serve our overseas and local seafarers. Okay? So, maraming tinanong si Idol Rafi na hirap siyang sagutin. Napaikot-ikot lang. Kung tutusin, if nabasa niya to, okay, kung nabasa niya to, napakadali lang sagutin ng mga tanong ni Senator Coco Pimentel. Anyway, panoorin natin.
First of all, let me congratulate our sponsor for filing and reporting out this visionary bill, Mr. President. Finally, a Magna Carta for our seafarers.
Okay guys, just so you know, Coco Pimentel is actually a bar top notcher. So kung paano siya magtanong, it's very normal for someone who knows his job and magaling sa kanyang ginagawa, no? Maliban siya is, he's a graduate, top of his class, a bar top notcher, so normal na normal yung kanyang mga tanong na napakasimple lang din para sagutin ni Rafi Tulfo, and yet hirap na hirap siya.
And the purpose of our interpellation actually is to make sure that there would be no what we call unintended consequences flowing out from the words which we use in the bill or in the law to really make sure that our Filipino seafarers benefit from this Magna Carta. Narinig ko rin naman na from our sponsor na para sa kanila ito. Siguraduhin natin na mananatiling para sa kanila at talagang makikinabang sila. So with this introductory statement, Mr. President, if our sponsor can allow me now to commence with our interpellation, Mr. President. Thank you. This is sponsor. Your Honor. Our bill has some extra territoriality concept contained in it, Mr. President, in the sense that we want our law to apply to ocean-going vessels which are even foreign registered. So how can we possibly ensure the applicability of our Magna Carta, Mr. President?
Okay, we're talking here, Mr. President, Your Honor, about ocean-going vessels, which means those are the international seafarers, while the domestic seafarers are referred to those vessels carrying Philippine flagship and plying domestic routes. They are the ones that are considered as domestic seafarers. But under the Magna Carta that we are trying to come up with here, it helps and refers to both the international and the domestic seafarers. Both will benefit.
Yes, both nga. So, does this mean that we are making subject to Philippine law the ship owners of those foreign registered ocean-going vessels?
As far as domestic seafarers, well,
Actually, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Pero hindi masagot ni Raffy Tulfo ng yes yun.
Should be subject to our Philippine law. We have the DOLE, we have the DOLE, we have also the Marina, and all other domestic laws that cover domestic seafarers. On the international law, the flagship of that country where the seafarer is employed in that ship will be responsible in implementing the MLC,
So the question nga, going back, no? Kasi dito sa pina-explain ni Raffy Tulfo, kung ang mga foreign vessel owners, should they or will they comply dito sa Magna Carta na to? Hindi ba dapat as long as there is a Filipino on board on an international vessel, regardless if the vessel is running domestic or international, 'di ba dapat magko-comply pa rin si international? Yun yung inaano ng Magna Carta to protect the international and local seafarers. Yun yung pinopromote nila dyan, di ba?
Maritime Labor Convention of 2006. And when there's a problem with the seafarer on that particular ship, so during the port of call of that country, then that country should take over to ensure compliance with the MLC and make sure that the seafarer on that ship, Filipino seafarer, will be protected, given all the rights that is mentioned in the MLC.
Okay, again, going back, the biggest question, the biggest question yet the simplest na natanong lang ni Senator Coco Pimentel, whether or not Magna Carta for seafarers apply regardless kung nasaan itong si seafarer, international or domestic.
So when we, for the Filipino seafarer who is on that international ocean-going vessel, when we want to help him invoke his rights, we communicate with the other country in the port of call, invoking the MLC 2006, which is the International Convention, or invoking our particular law?
Okay, there are 140 countries.
Okay, ako lang bang may si Raffy, naintindihan niyo yung simpleng tanong ni Senator Coco Pimentel? Which law ang dapat manaig, kumbaga? Which law? Para sa isang Filipino seafarer. Gaano ba kalayo ang extent ng Magna Carta na to? Pag lumabas na ba sa Philippine territory or jurisdiction, ang i-invoke ba dapat is yung MLC? O ang Magna Carta for seafarers na naka-embed din dyan ang MLC? Iba yung sasagot ni Raffy Tulfo.
Who is members or signatories in the MLC of 2006. And all of them are in compliance, Your Honor, Mr. President, doon sa MLC, na kung ano po yung mga nakasaad doon sa MLC. So, therefore, pag meron pong problema ang isa pong seafarer, say Filipino seafarer, kung ano man barko na yun, flagship of that, whatever country or whatever flags that ship carries, then automatically he or she is protected. Kasi nga po, in compliance,
By what?
halos lahat ng mga
By
vessels
which?
na kung saan
Magna
meron
Carta
tayong mga
or the
seafarers.
MLC?
And they have to comply with that MLC convention dahil nga signatory po sila.
So technically, to cut the story short, ang MLC. So walang saysay ang Magna Carta for the seafarers. So kailan mo i-invoke ang Magna Carta for the seafarers?
So thank you for that, Mr. President. Meaning, does it mean that our bill actually implements MLC 2006, Mr. President?
Yes, that
See, kaya nagtanong na si Senator Coco Pimentel. If I understand it correctly, bakit mo i-invoke ang MLC when in fact, sa Magna Carta ng mga seafarers, serving international seafarers, meron ng MLC. Bakit i-disregard mo ngayon ng Magna Carta? Diba? Kung nandoon rin naman yung mga laws, yung mga provisions na meron sa MLC. Kaya tingnan mo, nagtatanong si Senator Pimentel ng clarifying questions dito.
That is correct. We are compliant with what is stated in the MLC of 2006, Mr. President, and Your Honor, same as all the other countries, most of them, 140 of them, as a matter of fact, signatories sa MLC Convention.
Okay, what would be the important points of MLC 2006 which are also captured and reproduced in our Magna Carta, Mr. President?
That is correct, Your Honor. Kasi
ang tanong ni Senator Coco, ano ang mga important points? Sasagutin ni Raffy Tulfo, that's correct. Parang okay, ano ba yung may na-skip ba rito na hindi niya
kasi doon
na-gets?
sa MLC, Your Honor, meron pa kasing standard na sinusunod, and all countries, like I said, signatory to that. So kailangan nila sumunod kung ano na pag-usapan doon. And kasama na rin po dito sa Magna Carta, lahat ng mga batas na nakasaad doon sa MLC Convention, nandito rin nakasulat sa ating Magna Carta for seafarer.
Yes, Mr. President, can we have, let's say, the top 3 ideas in MLC 2006 which are also found in our Magna Carta?
Yes, Mr. President, actually I have 6 areas.
6, okay pa.
Yes, which the European Commission has considered 6 activities.
Looks familiar.
Okay, hold on, Mr. President. Baka sinasabi ng napatabi ko.
Looks familiar ba tong nangyayari kay Raffy Tulfo ngayon? Bill mo yan, hindi mo kabisado?
Ilang pages.
Okay, sorry, Mr.
O, diba?
President.
Looks familiar ba, guys?
It be placed under the office of the president.
Mr. President, same thing with GOB. GOB is under the president. Under the executive secretary and
Under the
executive secretary.
so since the GAB is under the office of the president, the Philippine Boxing Commission, without any rhyme or reason, should also be under the office of the president.
What's the question, Mr. President?
The
Nice.
only reason why the
Diba? Very familiar.
Your Honor. So dito po sa Chapter 3, Section 5, dito naka-state, specify yung mga rights po ng mga seafarers. Nandiyan yung right to just terms and condition of works, right to self-organization, collective bargaining, right to education, advancement and training at reasonable, affordable cost. And rights to information of seafarers family of next of kin, etc.
So at least yung MLC 2006 enumerates or lists down rights of seafarers. And did we make sure that all of those rights mentioned in MLC 2006 are reproduced or restated in our Magna Carta? 100%? Wala po tayong inumit 100%, at meron din ba tayong dinagdag sa ating local version?
Well, whether we like it or not, it's automatic that we have to adapt whatever stated on the MLC convention, because we are a member of that, Mr. President. We are signatory to that, and so we have to
it's
abide
actually
to it.
not
But we
that
have
true.
added.
Tingnan nyo guys, no? Right in front of me is the Senate Bill 221, no? 221. Guys, 45 pages lang to. Well, itong si Maritime Labor Convention 2006 is nasa 112. So definitely, there are parts of this na kinover nila, and there are parts na hindi. Especially naman kung hindi naman applicable para sa mga ano natin, sa mga batas natin, or nag-overlap, no? Like halimbawa sa labor law, yung mga ganyan. Kailangan mo pa bang i-ano yun dito? Like halimbawa, minimum requirements for the seafarer, conditions of employment, accommodation, health protection, medical care, welfare, and social protection, compliance and enforcement. So kahit dito pa lang sa pages na to guys, no? 90 pages na hanggang 90. Samantalang itong sa Magna Carta is 45 lang. Oh, 45 lang. I really don't think so. Na 100% na nakasulat dito sa MLC, embedded din dito. Kumbaga, is this the perfect replica of MLC? I really doubt it. I don't think so. Iko-compare ko pa nga kung ano meron dito sa MLC at saka dito sa Magna Carta na to. Kaya hindi ako naniniwala kay Idol.
It's something on it para naman doon sa ating mga local seafarers. So para pinagbubuo. So yung kasi Mr. President, kung tayo magpo-focus lamang para sa ating mga international seafarers, then para may discrimination naman, para naman yung ating mga domestic seafarers. So pinagkaisa na yon dito.
Guys, take note of that. Para daw may discrimination, but they have exempted. So ngayon, kung iisipin natin, sino lang ba ang kino-consider nilang seafarer? Buti pa yung kadete, kino-consider nilang seafarer. 'Di ba? Pero yung mga tour operators na kapitan, no? Yung mga tao sa bangka for tourism and leisure purposes, hindi nila yung kino-consider as seafarers.
Sa Magna Carta for seafarers.
But the MLC 2006, which is an international agreement, is meant to govern international as well as domestic seafarers of the state parties.
That is correct, Mr. President, Your Honor, sir.
Okay, so inamin niya na that is correct, sabi niya. So bakit pa tayong gumagawa ng Magna Carta? Then dun sa Magna Carta na yun, ini-embed pa natin as per Raffy Tulfo 100%. So ano purpose ng Magna Carta? Ginagastusan lang natin. Kung susundin lang din natin kung ano yung nakasulat sa MLC. Tama ba?
Okay, so what was our approach in our bill, Mr. President? Did we lift the wording of the MLC 2006 and then we restated it in the Magna Carta? Because takot ako sa ganyang approach, because we might incorrectly restate, because the easier version would be for our bill to refer to MLC 2006 if that is our intention, that we will simply reproduce rights found in MLC 2006 in domestic law.
Like I said, Mr. President, Your Honor, since we are a member country of the MLC Convention and we ratified back in
Again, the question is very answerable by yes and no. Sa totoo lang. The question is answerable by a simple yes and no. Hindi ko maintindihan kay Raffy Tulfo why he loves to go around the bushes.
2012. So lahat po ng provision na nakalagay doon sa MLC, we should be in compliance to that,
Yeah.
and we should abide with that. Kung ano
Okay. Magkaiba yung in-compliance. The question of Senator Coco Pimentel is very simple. Did we actually mirror? As simple as that. Did we actually mirror whatever provisions, word by word, coming from MLC going to the Magna Carta? Being compliant is different from putting that as a law. Tama ba ako?
man yung nakasulat doon, ano man ang paglagihan doon. So, therefore, dito sa ating Magna Carta, it goes without saying na lahat na nakasulat doon, matik na
Reproduce po natin pala. Opo.
Exactly.
So yun yung approach natin.
Yes,
Instead of just merely citing the convention.
that is correct, Mr. President.
Apo.
Matik
Sige.
na yun.
Okay po. Thank you po. So I noticed the outline of the bill. So there's a particular chapter na only for domestic seafarers. Which led to some confusion.
Okay. Ito na. Nandito na tayo sa exciting part, guys.
Within our ranks. No? So, does this mean that it is only that chapter which is not applicable to international seafarers? Or does it mean that it is only that chapter which is applicable to domestic seafarers?
That's right. Kung na-notice niyo po, Mr. President, Your Honor, like I said kanina, kailangan isama natin dito yung domestic seafarers dito sa Magna Carta because they're also considered as seafarers. Kasi kung ilalagay lang natin dito pang international at wala silang chapter dito, then they might see na they're being discriminated against. So sinama natin sila dito, but they have an exclusive chapter only for them. But still, they're recognized internationally as seafarers, and that's why we have this Magna Carta na sinama sila as well.
Okay.
Ang gulo naman, ginugulo ni Raffy Tulfo eh. Ang tanong lang ni Senator Coco, kung yung chapter na ba yun, specifically affected lang yung mga domestic seafarers. Again, it's answerable by yes and no.
Okay, so the Magna Carta for seafarers, when this becomes law, when we read it, it's applicable to both domestic and international seafarers, the entirety of the law, except that there's also a chapter just for domestic seafarers, in addition to the rest of the law.
That is correct.
Okay, so we get it, Mr. President. But how will we operationalize this, Mr. President? Let us say, merong paglabag sa ating batas, itong Magna Carta, and then
Okay guys, gusto ko lang ipakita sa inyo itong sinasabi. Provisions applicable to domestic seafarers. Sana nilagyan nila ng only dito, no? So ito yung tinatanong ni Senator Coco Pimentel. Wages, pay holiday, service incentive leave, and other statutory benefits. Diba? Kasi hindi naman lahat nagbibigay ng 13-month pay. Paid maternity leave under Republic, otherwise known as 100-day extended maternity leave. Paid maternity leave under, dami naman paternity leave dyan. Paid parental leave for solo parent under, paid for victims of violence against women and children, paid special leave due to surgery for gynecological disorder under blah blah blah, which is Magna Carta. Retirement pay pursuant domestic seafarers. So ito yung sinasabi, which is under our local. Diba? Again, the question was very simple, answerable by yes and no.
Siyempre ang lumabag ay yung foreign registered ocean going vessel. Therefore, ang most likely ang ship owner niyan ay foreigner. So, paano po natin siya mapapanagot sa paglabag sa batas or masisingil kung meron man pong siyang utang sa ating seafarer?
Okay, if we're talking about utang, Mr. President, na hindi nababayaran ng say yung flagship vessel, sabi mo nga na foreign, yung sa ating seafarer, then we go after the manning agency because the seafarer was hired through the manning agency, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Okay, so the manning agency naman is definitely based and present here in the Philippines. Ganun po ba yun?
That is correct, Your Honor, Mr. President.
So ahente siya. That is the agent of the principal who is the ship owner. But then what is the
Yung tinatanong ni Senator Coco anong law ang nababiolate?
Liability, Mr. President, under the law, kung may paglabag ng batas, yung solidary ba ang liability ni ship owner at saka ni manning agent or agency?
That is correct, Mr. President. Kung ano yung liability ng ship owner, ganun din yung liability ng manning agency. Both of them are liable doon po sa kung anumang paglabag o anumang pwedeng may claim ng ating seafarer against them.
Automatic yun. Yun ang automatic.
Automatic po yun.
Automatic. Okay ba?
Mr. President.
Ngayon po, ito po,
no-brainer.
sa hearing po ba natin sa panukalang ito, meron bang nag-oppose sa ating panukala?
Wala, Mr. President, pero doon sa technical working group, I talked to several stakeholders, kasama na dyan yung DMW, kasama yung OWA, kasama yung NLRC, kasama yung mga malalaking union. At first, meron pong mga pagtututol and then they told me ahead of time na ayaw nila ng tinatawag na escrow provision.
As escrow.
Yeah, and when I told them na hindi magkakaroon ng escrow provision, yung Magna Carta for Seafarer, this bill, they make some suggestions na para naman in exchange doon sa escrow na provision na para wala pa rin talagang escrow. So, the thing here, Mr. President, na naintindihan ko po kung bakit marami sa mga agency na nagre-request kailan malagyan ng escrow kasi malaki ng kalugian daw nila. Umabot as a matter of fact to 2-point-something billion pesos yung mga nanalo sila pagdating sa Supreme Court sa kaso. And so, pag kailangan ng magbalik ng pera ang seafarer, wala na silang pera, doon sila nakakalugi. And then these manning agents are telling na kung ganun rin lang, there's a possibility na itong mga ship owners might no longer hire Filipino seafarers as a result. So, ang nakikita ko talaga, the root of the problem really is the ambulance chasers. So dito sa Magna Carta natin, it will be focusing more on how we
Ambulance chasers. Is he talking about lawyers? Diba? Is he talking about lawyers? Kasi kung may rason naman ng isang seafarer na mag-file ng case against sa kanilang employer, they should be doing that. Diba? Kung kailangan
we can stop these ambulance chasers from operating and victimizing our seafarers.
Ito po ating bill, draft.
Diba? Pinapasama niya ngayon yung mga abogado. Samantalang, yung mga yan, lalapit at lalapit. Alam mo, mga seafarers, pag may problema sila sa mga employers nila, no? Ang gagawin ng mga yan, maghahanap talaga ng abogado. Bakit? Kasi, una sa lahat, they deserve whatever it is na kailangan nila makuha sa kanilang mga sa kanilang mga employer. Tama, mali?
Ng bill natin, wala naman ako nakitang escrow provision. Kaya wala akong tanong tungkol sa escrow provision kasi wala sa Senate draft yun.
Precisely.
Tayo ba Binibigyan ba tayo ng garantiya ng ating sponsor na sa period ng amendments, wala po tayong kaplano-plano na maibalik or mailagay ang isang escrow provision?
Like I said earlier, Mr. President, naintindihan ko po kung bakit maraming gusto magkaroon ng escrow provision dyan. In fact, the Congress version would say that there should be an escrow provision to protect naman siguro yung business interest ng mga ship owners, maging yung mga manning agencies na later on kapag patuloy silang nalulugi, hindi sila kapag-claim or hindi sila nababayaran after na manalo sila sa Supreme Court, then there's the possibility na they might withdraw their interest in hiring a Filipino seafarer.
Okay, so hindi ko alam kung alam ba ni Raffy Tulfo ko nung escrow provision. So basically guys, the escrow provision mandates a third party who will hold any contested funds for compensation involving work-related injuries, or the amount will not be released to the seafarers or their heirs until their litigation process and corresponding appeals to higher court. So, bakit ayaw ng escrow? So, ano ba talaga? Sino ba pinoprotektahan ni Raffy Tulfo? Diba? Sino po na-protektahan dyan ni Raffy Tulfo? Ba't ayaw niya maglagay ng escrow provision? So, I found this one nga, no? Let me share this with you. Bayan Muna Chairperson urged the Senate to pass the Magna Carta for Seafarer, which seeks to provide seafarer full protection before, during, and after employment, without its escrow provision. So, just so you know what is an escrow provision, escrow, it's a financial instrument whereby two or more parties involved in a legal transaction deposit assets, documents, and or money with an independent third party known as escrow agent. An escrow agreement is it is a contract entered into by two or more parties where the agent is assigned to hold and escrow certain assets, blah, 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 blah. So, under Section 51, escrow as a manner of execution. Monetary award by the arbitrator to the seafarers or the seafarers' successors in interest made whether a voluntary or mandatory arbitration or by the National Labor Relations Commission shall be placed in escrow. If the employer or manning agency has raised or intends to raise the decision for judicial review in accordance with the rules of court. So, ano kinakatakot dito tungkol sa sa escrow provision? Ambulance chasing, any person who have proven to have engaged in ambulance shall be punished. Ang ambulance chasing, guys, normally mga naman yan sa mga lawyers. Ako para sa akin mas okay na may escrow than wala.
That's why nakita ko na yung problema. The root of the problem talaga, Mr. President, is pagdating po doon sa grading system ng disability. So na-address ko na yan, nakita ko yung problem na yan, how we can go about that, and I told that na magkaroon kami ng TWG doon sa mga stakeholders at sila ay napahanga. Sila ay nag-suggest at the same time, and then we talk about the way na para masiguro na wala talagang escrow. Zero, nada, zip.
Tama po yun. At I will confirm that. Sa inaral ko na version natin, walang escrow.
Wala.
So,
but at the same time na hindi rin po malulugi yung mga manning agency. We also have to protect their interests. We also have to protect their business. Kasi po, they were there to...
Okay. Ito lang naman na magiging dyan sa nakikita ko, So, kung halimbawa si seafarer nag-file ng kaso against kay manning agency, dahil wala ngang escrow, pahirapan naman, guys, ng singil. So, sino kawawa para sa Magna Carta na yan? Siyempre, naintindihan ko na we should protect the business of this manning agency. Pero, para saan ba itong Magna Carta na to? Para sa manning agency o para sa mga seafarer?
to make
So,
money para magkaroon ng negosyo, pero
Opo.
ayaw na natin sila na mabankrupt naman, or ayaw natin sila na umatras later on just because tulad ng tingin nila sa atin. I mean, tingin nila.
Alam mo, ito na yung para sa akin, especially sa mga seaman dyan out there. Ano ba mas importante? Magkaroon sila ng negosyo o meron silang napoproduce ng mga seaman? 'Di ba? And for the record guys, marami na ngayon seafarer na hindi na umaano. Hindi na dumediretso sa manning agency. Dumedirekta na po sila sa mga tawag dito, ano yung term nila? Yung mga owners or direct employers ng mga ship.
Sa atin na pag kinuha namin itong mga seafarers na Pilipino, baka magbibigyan sakit sa ulo. So why hire them? We should be hiring other seafarers from other countries na lang. Pero dito sa Magna Carta natin, doon sa period of amendments, I will show you how we'll do it na zero talaga yung escrow provision. Wala talaga. Zero, nada,
Yes.
zip.
Apo. Yeah, if we don't amend it towards putting that, wala talaga. So tama. This
Wala talaga.
representation agrees with the bill in the sense.
And I already promised that to Senator Riza on the various, and I'll stand by it at talaga until the end.
Yes.
Wala talagang escrow.
But then our sponsor has mentioned that he has found the solution. It's in the grading system of disability. Wala pa ngayon dyan. It will be introduced in the period of amendments.
Exactly,
Kasi
Mr. President.
wala rin ako na-encounter na ganun po sa
Correct.
pag-aaral ko.
During the
Okay.
period of amendment, it will be explained how are we gonna do it and make it possible na
Ang ano ko dyan guys, again, babalikan natin. Bakit nga ba may escrow? It is actually both to protect yung complainant at saka itong respondent. Pag kung sakali mo magsampa sila ng reklamo. The thing is, paano halimbawa kung si manning agency may problema dito kay seafarer and vice versa? 'Di ba? Paano nga kung ganun yung mangyayari? And even if kasi may sinampang kaso sa kanila, not in all cases naman na pinapastop ang operation na itong manning agency. Same goes with the seafarer. Hindi naman ibig sabihin pag may sinampang kang kaso, hindi ka pwedeng sumampa. Lalo na pala kung matagal. I'm not really sure now. Actually, one of my lawyers, marami rin siyang mga client sa industry ng maritime. And ang ikot nga daw kasi ng sa maritime, mabilis lang din. Okay? And sabi niya wala naman natatalo. Mostly ang hinahawakan niyang mga cases is more on yan, mga dispute lang sa pay. 'Di ba? Na ayaw magbayad ng mga agency, ayaw magbayad ng or may kulang. 'Di ba? So may mga bagay na you have to keep it there to protect both. So hindi ko na alam kung alin dito yung pinoprotektahan ni Raffy Tulfo. Yung Magna Carta na yan. 'Di ba ang sinasabi niya was to protect sino? Sino yung dapat pinoprotektahan? Yung mga seafarer. 'Di ba? Actually, if you're going to go over the Magna Carta sa Senate bill pa lang ngayon, and then you compare it, I highly suggest, lalo-lalo na sa mga seafarer. You have to go through this. Okay? You have to go through this. And actually, there's a part of that video dyan sa interpellation na yan na hindi po kasali. Hindi po protektado ng Magna Carta yung mga bankero na nagpo-provide lang ng tawag dito for tourism purposes. Halimbawa, yung mga pumupunta sa mga island hopping, hindi po kayo covered. So, ayaw ni Raffy Tulfo ng discrimination pero hindi niya kayo in-include dito sa Magna Carta. Kung titingnan natin, sino ba ang kino-cover nito? 'Di ba? All Filipinos who are, okay, coverage, all Filipinos who are engaged, employed, or working in any capacity on board Filipino or foreign registered ongoing vessels except those of the following: warship, naval auxiliary, coast guards, government ship not engaged in commercial operation, ship of traditional build as may be defined under the existing rules and regulation, fishing vessels as may be defined by appropriate rules and regulation to be issued by a Department of Labor in consultation of the Bureau of Fisheries. All Filipino seafarers on board Philippine registered domestic ship engaged in trade and commerce between Philippine ports and within the Philippine territorial or internal waters shall be covered primarily by equivalent provisions of the Labor Code of the Philippines as amended and related social welfare benefits. So basically, ito lang yung covered niya. Exempted kayo. So hindi kayo kasali. I would understand dito sa sa mga government. Pero itong nagtatrabaho sa mga tours at saka mga mangingisda, bakit? So, ibig sabihin yung mga nagta-transport ng tao from point A to B, kasali sila. Yung mga roro, kasali sila. Pero hindi kasali yung mga fishing vessels. Hindi kasali ang mga Pero ayun yung discrimination Yun yung pagkakaintindi ko. So, hindi pagsali sa inyo ay hindi point of discriminating you people, no? This group. Ito, I would understand this Ito, hindi ko maintindihan bakit hindi nila sinali. 'Di ba? Anyway, natatawa lang ako na parang, okay, anong mahirap dun sa mga tanong ni Senator Coco Pimentel na hindi niya magets na answerable by yes and no lang? 'Di ba? Kailangan mo i-overemphasize yung mga sagot mo. Tapos, kung isa ka sa mga authors ng bill na 'to, I find it very impossible. Para kang si Leni Robredo I find it very impossible na hindi mo alam yung laman nitong bill na 'to. And how 100% are you na ang laman nito is copy-paste ng batas na 'to? 'Di ba? Anyway guys, I don't know. Ako gustong-gusto ko 'to para sa mga kababayan nating seafarers, pero marami pang kailangan i-scrutinize dito, and I'm really happy na si Senator Coco Pimentel na talagang ini-scrutinize niya yung laman ng Senate bill nila Idol Tulfo. And again guys, hindi lang naman siya ang author nito. As you can see, ang dami nila. Andyan si Senator, ba't wala si Marcos dito? And Foreign Relations and Finance. So, Senator Estrada, Zubiri, Villanueva, Tulfo, Mantiveros, Angara, Pog, Gatchalian, Revilla, Go, Legarda, De La Rosa, Villar, Padilla. Foreign Relations kasi si Senator Amy Marcos Ayun guys, ayan. Pinahirapan na naman ni Raffy Tulfo mga kapwa niya senador. Parang kahapon ng isang araw lang. Correct me if I'm wrong, may biglang pinasok daw sa isang budget hearing again. Parang kay VP Sara yata. May pinasok na naman siyang issue na walang connection tungkol yata sa gulay. Hinahanap ko nga yun Anyway guys, after this, pag-usapan natin yung pagkakapahiya ni Idol Raffy. In his face, napahiya siya ni Senator Coco Pimentel. I'll see you in the next video guys. Bye!